What's up guys, Houndish here, and today we have the weekly reset for the 8th of August in Destiny 2, and as always in this video we're going to jump in and check out the main rewards and vendor inventories for the week, so that'll include the Eververse refresh, we'll cover all the new store items there, and then we'll go over what vendors like Banshee and ShADA-1 have got this week, as well as other key rewards that are featured, and all the relevant updates. So I hope this one is useful as always, and if you enjoy it, be sure to get subscribed for more Destiny 2 content, but otherwise let's get into it. And so starting out today, Destiny 2 did get yet another hotfix, and this is update 7153. And so, only a couple of changes here really, but for Battlegrounds, they say unstoppable champion kills are now properly counted in PsyOps Battleground the Moon, and that's inside of the Nightfall of course. Then for Trials of Osiris, they say drop rates for the In Memoriam Ghost from Trials have been improved, that's a positive, and additionally, in general, players are now able to claim It's in the Cards reward from Soraya Hawthorne, so not a massive patch by any means, but a couple of useful updates right there. Now though, moving on to the Eververse store for the week, and we do actually have a few new items for the season, which is refreshing because we've mainly had kind of rerun stuff, so starting out on the Bright Dust stuff right here, and for the front page, we have the Catch of the Day Legendary emote, available for 700 Bright Dust, so get a quick preview of it right there. If you fancy adding some more fishing themes to your Guardian, you can go ahead and do that. Also though, we have the Prototype Submersible right here for 2000 Bright Dust, a rather curious looking thing that you can add to collections for Bright Dust this week. And then we've got the Unspun Fate Transman effect, and as always, these cost 450 Bright Dust, so a quick preview of that one as well. And for the featured shaders here, we initially have Neopop Wave on the front page. As always, all of the shaders will cost 300 Bright Dust. And additionally, there is the Ego Malign, nearly said that wrong, blue and white kind of theme going on with that one on the front page as well. And then moving over to the main Bright Dust section, we've got the Kiddie Pool Exotic emote, 4,250 Bright Dust. Of course, it's a multiplayer emote, so a rather curious thing right there, and of course pretty expensive, but it's available this week. And then we have the Anchorage ornament right here for Titans. Of course, there will be a class ornament for each of the classes available this week, and these are 1,500 Bright Dust. But there is also the convertible shell available here for 2,850 Bright Dust from back in Season of the Haunted. And additionally, we've got the Bright Nostalgia Sparrow available here as well for 2,500 Bright Dust. So quick look at that one and a bit of a preview of the trail on this thing as well. And then moving on, we've got the Star Racer 95 for 2,000 Bright Dust, another new one for this season, which is pretty cool. So that's a rather interesting looking thing as well. And for the weapon ornament, we've got the Hibernal Thorns right here for the Winter Bite. This is 1,250 Bright Dust, but cool to finally get a new ornament for the season available in the store this week for Bright Dust. Let us know if you plan to pick it up down below. There is also the Spicy Ramen projection for 1,500 Bright Dust right here as well. And then for the second page featured shaders, we have the, I'm not even going to try and say it, I've always failed to say the name of this one. There we go, it finally popped up. And then there is the Warbrick shader available right here as well. On top of that though, we have Vibrant Medusa, which is something that's come up many times in the store. And there's the Aposmatism shader as well, right here from back in Season of the Splicer. Rather bright with this particular armor set, but all of these available this week for Bright Dust. And then we have the Celebrate Newness Transman effect. Once again, these are all 450 Bright Dust. On top of that, there is the Dark Blade effect, a pretty cool one right there as well that you can add to collections. And finally, we also have the Champion entrance available for 450 Bright Dust as well. So that's the Eververse store in terms of Bright Dust this week, and let us know down below if you plan to pick anything up. Heading over to check out Banshee's inventory for the week. Of course, many of these weapons will change, or indeed the perk rolls will change throughout the course of the week, so be sure to check in as often as you can if you're after better rolls. But we've got the Lodbrok Sea right here on the front page with Perpetual Motion and Wellspring. And then the Nezarix Whisperglaive is here as well with Impulse Amplifier and Vorpal Weapon. And then we've got Nostringer with Compulsive Reloader and Frenzy right here, which could be a little bit of fun if you don't have a better roll already. Then there is the Taipan Linear Fusion Rifle with Triple Tap and Focused Fury, as well as the Glissando 47, and this one has Discord and One for All. But moving over to the second page at Banshee, we've got the Legal Action 2 Pulse Rifle, and this has Heating Up as well as Rampage. And then we've got Lodbrok Sea again with Perpetual Motion and Target Lock, which could be an interesting one. But there's also the Contingency Plan with Subsistence and Frenzy, and then the Fiorichora 59 with Zen Moment and Moving Target. But also we've got the Typhon JL5 with Impulse Amplifier and Explosive Light. and then the Marsilion Sea with snapshot sights and danger zone. So potentially a couple of possible pickups right there. Give us your thoughts on the rolls down below. But once again, be sure to keep your eye on Banshee throughout the course of the week, as many of these items will change. Finally though, for a quick visit to ShADA-1, this week she's got the Insight Unyielding set of gear right here, so if this is something you want to add to collections, be sure to visit, and of course you can check out the stat rolls on various characters as well. But for the shaders, which cost 10,000 Glimmer, initially we have Midnight Exigent available this week, one from back in Season of the Worthy. There is also the Mad Monk as well, which is a pretty cool shader from back in the day, so a couple of items that haven't come up, I don't believe, at ADA1 previously. But finally there is also the War Cult Endgame, another FWC shader right there, so potentially some new stuff or things that players may want to add to collections, and let us know down in the comment section. Now though, for other activity content this week, if you're jumping into Root of Nightmares, we will see the Nezarec challenge, and so Acacia's Dejection, the Trace Rifle, is the featured weapon. Plus, as we move over to the Nightfall, we've got Psyops Battlegrounds on the Moon featured, with the weapon for the week being the Braytech Osprey rocket launcher. And so of course, Braytech Osprey is a high impact frame void rocket launcher. And looking at the popular traits right here, in the first column, for main traits we have Cluster Bomb, Auto-Loading Holster, Envious Assassin, and then Field Prep, as well as Keep Away and Pulse Monitor. Then the second trait slot can feature Destabilizing Rounds, as well as Bipod, Lasting Impression, Chain Reaction, Frenzy, and Golden Tricorn. And so according to the popular individual perks on Light GG right here, in the first trait slot, Cluster Bombs, Auto-Loading Holster, and Envious Assassin are the top 3 most popular bonuses, with the second slot featuring Destabilizing Rounds, Bipod, and Lasting Impression as the top 3 most popular perks. Of course, things like Chain Reaction are also pretty good, and it's worth bearing in mind Bipod will be seeing some kind of adjustment going into Season 22, so probably a bit of a buff for that perk, and it might be at least worth holding on to a decent roll that has that as well. But it's clear that Destabilizing Rounds and Cluster Bomb is the main thing that players go after, so something to keep in mind if you are looking for good rolls on it, but let us know in the comment section if you're still hunting for a good roll, or if you've already managed to pick something up. Otherwise though, for the featured Lost Sectors this week, for today, we've got K1 Revelation dropping exotic helmets. Then on August 9th, we'll get K1 Crew Quarters dropping exotic legs, which is followed by exotic gauntlet drops from K1 Logistics on August 10th. But for August 11th, we'll see K1 Communion dropping exotic chest pieces. August 12th will be Sepulture dropping exotic helmets, and then we'll get Extraction on August 13th dropping exotic legs, and finally, Aphelion's Rest on August 14th, which will be dropping exotic gauntlets. So that may be useful if you're still working on picking up any specific pieces of armor. And otherwise for today guys, that is everything that we have to break down. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed the video today, and if you have, a rating down below really does help us out on the channel. Plus be sure to get subscribed and I'll keep you posted with more Destiny content. But otherwise, I appreciate you tuning in as always, and I hope you guys have an awesome day.